There we go. Hello, everybody. We were playing
Hello.
with a new feature today, countdown, and I couldn't get it to turn off. So, welcome everybody to our live tonight. I'm super excited to be talking about the lies about your liver. There's a lot of misconceptions about what the liver does and how it works and how it supports us in becoming healthy or becoming ill, and how our lifestyle choices affect the liver. So, we're really excited to talk to you tonight. I've invited Isabel Yang, and she is a foremost expert in liver detoxification, and she runs a liver cleanse a few times a year, and just helps people to see the connection between their liver health and their everything else health, which is huge. And tonight we're going to talk about liver and gallbladder and gallstones and what all that means and how you can support yourself in not struggling and not landing in the emergency room in the middle of the night with a gallbladder attack. So, welcome, Isabel.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rita Marie. So nice to be here talking about liver. I have a big passion about liver, about detoxification, and I just think liver is this unsung hero that we know it's important, but most people don't really like. I need to take care of my liver. People take care of their heart. Like, yeah, my heart health, cardio health is really important, and which it is. And but liver, it's people don't talk about it. And also gallbladder is almost like, oh, there, if people have gallbladder problems, yeah, we can just take it
Just
out
cut it
and
out.
the problem is gone. But I'll talk more about the gallbladder. But just to a quick review about the liver, it's like everything. The question I asked is like, what bodily function does not associate with the liver? All the food that we eat, it has to be processed by the liver. Either you're on a keto diet or you're um, on protein, high protein diet, all the fat, protein, and carbohydrate. Liver humanizes the food so it can send to the different areas of your body and use that for energy. We talk a lot about cholesterol, like, oh, some people have like high cholesterol, saying like high cholesterol that's associated to heart health. But cholesterol, 70% of the cholesterol is made in the liver.
Mhm.
And actually, in when there is liver biliary, that's bile, biliary sludge, and congestion, that's what is one of the contributing factor to high cholesterol. So,
And people
um,
don't talk about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
So
people don't
explain
talk
that.
about that.
Like, what does that mean if there's high cholesterol? How does that relate to the liver? And how does
So our liver produces a quart of bile every day. And when the bile is supposed to be liquid so that it have bile actually has a lot of different functions. One of the function is to help to eliminate toxin. So the bile gets scored into the small intestine, and it binds to the toxin coming from the small intestine. Just imagine everything that comes from our food. It's not it has stuff in there. It has like maybe perhaps um, contaminants in there in the food. So everything needs to go through the liver.
Mhm.
Once it comes through the intestine and gets into the bloodstream, the liver cleans it out. And from the bile is what gets into this skirt into the intestine, and intestine moves the bile out from our poop. So if people are not pooping, then you're
Definitely going to have a
really
buildup.
building a buildup of toxins. So bile take out toxins. So when there is bile sludge, what happens is through our food, through our toxic overload, bile can become sluggish. So when bile is sluggish, it can't get through to the intestine. And bile is supposed to be, think about like a glue. You're trying to squeeze glue into a straw and have it come out the other end, like how hard that is to squeeze
Yeah.
that through a straw. So bile is supposed to bile is stored into the gallbladder for when it's concentrated, then it could go do its work and digest fat. So that's the other function of bile, is to emulsify and digest fat. So another example is, think of you're washing like a very greasy dish, right? You
Mhm.
just rinse it with soap. It's not really gonna get the grease out. But if you have a drop of detergent, soap detergent, and you start washing it, all the grease goes out. So that's kind of like bile. Bile just like
Mhm.
emulsifies fat. And so when we're eating, and some people that have um, biocongestion, and they're feeling like, oh, they can't eat fatty food. Every time they eat fatty food, they get this indigestion feeling, food just sits in their stomach,
Mhm.
then that is a sign of biocongestion. So when that happens, bile is not getting um, into the system, get into the small intestine, and it sits like in the gallbladder. And bile sludge first, it's kind of sluggish bile, and over time, if nothing was done, then it becomes more dense, and it could just kind of concentrate in the gallbladder, and that affects the cholesterol. Cholesterol is cleared. It's made in the liver, but it also needs to be cleared
Right.
in
Has to be
from
eliminated.
in the liver, and bile is one of the mechanism that carries out cholesterol, and
Yeah.
you poop it out. But if that bile is sluggish, then you don't get that action.
Don't get that. And then the cholesterol builds up. So,
Yeah.
you're talking about bile. So bile can get thick and it can get sludgy and not
Mhm.
move so easily.
Yes.
And we blame the gallbladder. So the gallbladder is concentrating it. So it's quick and easy access if you eat fat. You don't have to constantly have the liver make it. But what is it? What's that connection? I mean, you talk a lot about people think that, the gallbladder is at fault when it comes to gallstones, to stones,
Mhm.
because we even call them gallstones, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So, what is it? What's that liver role? What is that big fat lie about the liver that, if we blame the poor gallbladder for gallstones?
Yeah, good question. So, bile is produced in the liver,
Mhm.
and in the liver, when it's made out of taurine, lysine, which is amino acid, and another ingredient which also used for detoxification. So all that ingredient that makes the bile suspend in liquid is also used for detoxification. But these
Mhm.
days we are just bathed in toxins and all the different chemicals in the environment. There are 85,000 different chemicals in the environment. So it competes for these ingredients that helps the bile to stay liquefied in the liver. So when and with nutrient deficiency, right, we also need bile to emulsify fat, and that plays a part in helping the bile stay liquefied. And so when that is missing, when these ingredients are missing, the bile can get congested and become sluggish. And actually, most people think, well, gallstones only accumulate in the gallbladder. That's not true. So if there are
Mhm.
gallstones in the gallbladder, I bet, like, you can be sure that there are many, many, many either big or small gallstones in build up in the liver. So it happens first in the liver, and then the
So they get
gallbladder.
moved, they get created there in the liver,
They
and then
get
they get
created
moved
there.
and stored in the
No, they don't get, I don't think they get moved, because that bile duct is pretty tiny. So they don't get moved, just that bile
Wow.
becomes more and more sluggish, and it's condensed. So the bile in this gallbladder is condensed. And when people are have sluggish bile, then they tend to eat less fat. And when that
Mhm.
happens, the gallbladder doesn't have a reason to squeeze,
Contract.
right?
Right,
It
right.
doesn't have the reason to contract, to squeeze. So it just kind of, the bile just kind of gets stuck there.
And then it
Yeah.
doesn't move out.
It doesn't move
So
out.
gallstones are a
And
common problem, right? I mean,
yes,
people have
most
these.
people, and women, 80% of the women over 40 have gallstones because of hormonal changes, and we're more easily to have gallstone buildup. And thyroid also affects um, the formation of gallstones. Things are just not moving very
Mhm.
quickly.
So, how do people know that they have gallstones or stones in the liver um, before they have an attack in the middle of the night and get taken to the ER and get their gallbladder cut out?
Yeah, that's a great question. Sometimes because they're made of cholesterol, they're like made out of fat, most of them. You can't see them on the ultrasound
Mm,
for most of them. And so the one way that you can kind of see if you determine or suspect that if there is biostagnation is that if you have you're low in energy. Now you're low in energy, your cholesterol is trending higher and higher, and your bilirubin is also trending higher and
okay.
higher. So that's one sign of it. And um, and then just like you've done different things and you feel like your energy is just not there. You eat fat. That's a very high indication, is that you eat something fattening and you just can't digest fat. So over time, your ability to digest fat decreases.
Breaks down. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's before you get the pinging sensation of your gallbladder, that you're feeling gallbladder pain. And brain fog could be one of them. Or
Okay.
for someone that they're very hard to lose weight, they can't lose weight. It's
Mhm.
also one of them.
So it's
And
more
yeah,
generic signs.
yeah,
It's not just I get bloated and gassy after I eat fat or I feel like I
no,
can't.
mhm.
There's systemic signs that might be confused for other things.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And emotional, so like if someone who's irritated all the time, angry all the time, mood changes, and that's also associated with biostagnation. According to Chinese medicine, the liver
Right.
stores anger and the gallbladder stores resentment.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Then is that how your cleanse is called the second heart
This
cleanse?
that's
Tell us
why it's
about
called the
that.
second heart. So
Yeah.
the second heart, because the liver is represents the second heart. It's an emotional. A lot of times when we do cleanses, so back to the bile and the gallstone, and you ask, well, what do you do? How do you know that you have gallstone?
Right.
Most people don't know if they have gallstone, but if it's sluggish bile or there are gallstones. But from our experience, I've been running the cleanses for about 5 years now. I haven't came across anyone that didn't release any gallstone when they go through the cleanses. And so some may be small, some may be big, but everyone at some point produces, um, have
Right.
released some
Right.
gallstones. And so you don't really know, but I'm just like to assume that in this day and age, even if you eat super healthy, you eat all organic, but just like glyphosate is everywhere in the environment, you
Yeah.
just can't avoid that even with organic food. And glyphosate is really good at slowing down bioflow. Um,
Slowing it down. Okay.
yeah.
Good.
And so I'm assuming there is some sluggish
So most people would
biostagnation.
have it unless they,
Yes.
have no symptoms. They're perfectly healthy. Everything
Mhm.
is fine. But
Yeah.
even then, there might be a
Yeah,
chance
there
of
might
that.
be. So you're not going to see it on ultrasound. So doing a liver flush, liver flush. That's how I know that I have so many gallstones. Is doing and gallbladder and liver flush. So what happens is you do eat, you do go through. We go through this very safe protocol to prep the body for a release. And a lot of times people do these cleanses that they just kind of do juice cleanse, or they see like a three day cleanse on the internet and do a gallbladder flush, and that's not very safe because your body uses a lot of energy to detoxify. And if you don't have that energy, it could do more harm than good. For example, if someone's not pooping, you're not gonna
You
you're
don't
not
want,
gonna detox and
right.
cleanse,
You get rid
because
of
everything
everything.
is gonna recirculate back
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
body. Yeah.
Okay. So we have this sludge that builds up. We have these stones that form in the liver and the gallbladder. Some people end up having an attack because why? They get too so big that they don't
Yeah,
get,
they
yeah,
get so big, and they're trying to they're if they eat fatty food, and most people can have experiences gall. gallbladder attack, it's like right after a fatty meal, and
Yeah.
because your gallbladder is still trying to contract and get the
Got it.
get squeeze out, contract, and get the bile out so it could emulsify
Right.
the fat that you eat.
Right.
So that's when people feel the gallbladder attack, and it can get stuck in the biliary duct as
Yeah.
well. Hmm. Yeah.
Right. And that's one of the smaller ones as opposed to the
That's one of
common
the
bile
smaller
duct.
ones, yeah.
Right.
They're,
Right.
like, really big, and at the time, if you're getting gallbladder attack, your physician, if you go to, a, conventional doctor, they'll suggest you to remove your gallbladder.
Remove it.
But
Right.
the problem is it doesn't solve
Doesn't
the
solve the
problem.
problem,
This doesn't
right?
cause
Because you're
the
still
root
having the
cause.
sludge
You
and the
still
stuff
have
in the
sludge, you still
liver.
have biostagnation, and
Yeah.
when you have your gallbladder removed and you don't have that concentrated bile, it is going to affect your, not just your fat digestion, it's going to affect your protein digestion and also your carbohydrate
Yeah.
digestion. Yeah, we
Yeah.
need, and our body is super smart because
Mhm.
when in the stomach we have the stomach acid, but our stomach has really thick lining to protect us, and as
Right.
the bolus, the chyme, go move into the small intestine, bile is secreted to alkalize the
Neutralize.
small
Right.
intestine. So
Right.
if you don't have enough bile, your body is going to slow down and produce less hydrochloric acid, so that it doesn't burn your small intestine. So a lot
And
of
that
people think acid reflux is coming from, you know, less or more producing. Now that we know, it's like you're not producing enough, but either way, it's one of the factor is that there isn't enough bile flow
got it.
that's
Yeah.
causing the
And
problem.
people don't know that. So looking at stones and building up stones, the last thing you want is to have an attack and have to go to the hospital and have your gallbladder removed.
Yeah.
So in terms of prevention,
Hmm.
right, tell us about the cleansing process that will
Okay.
help us so that we don't get the buildup of these huge stones that
Yes.
block the ducts.
Yes. And just to let everybody know, if you're currently experiencing attack, you do need to see your physician. There are
Yeah.
some people that they're just the buildup is you it's gone too far.
Right.
There are times that people need to have their gallbladder removed, but way before that, right? Way before that happens, what you can do is actually your diet helps. Your diet helps a lot. What you eat, um, additives, sugar, gluten, all that, and chemicals, as we talked about,
Right.
are really good at slowing down bile flow.
Hmm.
And so, what you need is to what we do with the second heart cleanse is we prep the body for 2 weeks and make sure that we remove all the irritants as much as
Right.
possible, including chocolate,
Chocolate.
coffee, and
That's one
all
of mine.
that.
That's the only
So
one I
yeah.
usually eat that I have to get rid of.
Yeah, so that it's we're offloading what the work that the liver have to do. So it can relax, it can repair, it could get to work, and we do a preparation for a week where you we do we do use supplements, and we do use suppositories and different things to break up biostagnation, to soften
Yeah.
bile sludges, and then after the preparation on the last day, we drink it's olive oil and grapefruit mixture, and that
Mhm.
actually tastes really
It
really good.
tastes
So we
really good,
use that.
actually.
Yeah, we use that to give the liver a reason to push out
Yeah.
gallstones, and give to release bile and give a big
Got
push
it.
to get the gallstones out. And then we follow this protocol and the way that to save bile, to kind of slowly reduce fat intake, so we save up bile for that protocol, for that flush. And that being said, not everyone is ready for the flush. When I first started leading the cleanse, I have everyone doing the flush, but not necessarily. People will still get the benefit of not going through the flush. Maybe their body isn't ready
Isn't
for the
ready. Yeah.
flush. Yes, then we want to be mindful of that and not have to not get through. Not everyone needs to go need to do the big flush. And there are ways to release gallstones and also break up the gallstones without having to do the flush. The flush is the fastest way. It's just
Yeah.
amazing. Some people see like a couple hundred little pin size gallstones in the toilet, and some bigger ones are like grape size. I have a
Whoa.
couple cleansers that like in different color, and so they were amazed. And I also have this cleanser that he hated the cleanse. He's like, I don't like the diet, I don't like anything, and he was complaining. But after the flush, he was like, oh my god, I'm a believer now. Like all these stones came out.
All the stones came out, and then people feel better after that, right?
Oh
There's
yeah.
like this
Yeah,
sense of energy
energy's
and relief.
better,
Yeah.
clarity, mental clarity, and sugar craving, because we eat in a certain way, and you give your body like a couple weeks to acclimate to healthy food. Their taste buds change, their sleep
Hmm.
is better,
Yeah.
and skin is better. That's what I notice when I do the cleanse.
Yeah.
And
Well, the
I've
skin
done the
in Chinese medicine is connected
yeah,
with the liver
and the eyes too,
and the
and the
eyes
eyes
too,
and the liver
right?
are on the
Yeah.
same meridian.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
So when people do this, right? So what you said earlier made me think it's really you really want to do it with somebody who's knows what they're doing, not just follow a protocol on the internet because like you said, if somebody's not really ready, you have to have somebody be able to say, no, don't do
Yeah.
it because you don't want people. Now, what about people who don't have a gallbladder? Can they do
Oh,
this?
then more reason to do it. There's a reason why they didn't have gallbladder, right? All that
Right.
liver stagnation. So you know that there is definitely liver stagnation, and to a point where there's gallstone built up in the gallbladder. So people that don't have gallbladder, they're really are the ones that really need to do the flush
They need to do it.
and take
Okay.
care of the liver.
So
Yeah.
really the contraindication would be if somebody has a stone that's large enough, it's been identified and it may be stuck or starting to get stuck, or it's in the gallbladder, but if it starts to get pushed
Mhm.
out, it might end up blocking. I mean,
They we
that
have never had anybody had an episode where they had experienced anything stuck, and it's not even painful. It's just like there's a sensation. Sometimes you'll
okay,
feel a sensation of things like releasing, and feel a sensation that things moving in the digestive tract. And we have different protocols like coffee enemas. We encourage that, and also castor oil packs. So different techniques that we use to help
help move
make the
things
process more comfortable. And when we do the flush, we have calls almost every other day, just kind of monitor where everybody at.
everybody's out.
And as
Yeah,
there are times where if someone is there's some people that are releasing more than their body can handle, and in that case, then I will recommend, like, the it's not time to flush for you to flush yet, but you need to continue to prepare your body, and that just
right.
shows that you have more work to do.
You may
And
need another week or two or even more of prep run.
mhm,
But then I know you have the stone softening herbs and tinctures that you have people do during that. That sounds like that's a safety measure as well,
yes,
because if the stones are all, cholesterol plus, plus of,
yeah,
what is it?
cholesterol
Uh,
based.
yeah.
Yeah, and we also have different, not just a couple layers, different layers of different ways of softening stone. Some
Okay.
in something that you ingest, or some suppository. So different elements to help you loosen up bioflow.
Okay. And you help people to determine what the best way is to have.
Yes, yes, yeah. They
Yeah.
have
Throughout.
option. They have
Yeah.
option to see, how
Yeah.
many
Chris,
layers.
yeah, how much they need to be doing.
Yes.
Chris wants to know, how does estrogen dominance in the 40s affect uh, or cause gallstones? I know that the saying in medicine is female fat fertile in 40,
Yeah.
right? And when people get
Yeah.
gallstones mostly.
Because estrogen is cleared in the liver. So when your liver is there, liver stagnation, there is not enough bioflow, it doesn't get cleared, and so you have estrogen recirculating. back into the body. So estrogen clearance depends on bile flow. And
But how does estrogen clearance affect the formation, or estrogen itself affect the formation of stones?
so it's actually the bile flow, slow down of the bile flow. Well, bile flow is affected by the toxicity in the environment, slowing down of the biostagnation. One of the factor is the toxicity in the environment. Another factor is that there isn't enough resource, the amino acid, the taurine, the lysine,
Right.
phosphorylcholine. That's also the ingredient
Phosphatidylcholine. Yeah.
to make sure the bile is in liquid form. So, and that goes back to there's just too much toxin in the environment that the liver has to work.
Mhm.
The liver needs and to work to excrete these toxins, and that causes biostagnation. And biostagnation causes is one of the contributing factor of estrogen not being able to clear in the body.
So, if someone wants to participate in your cleanse, how often do you do it, and how do they get in? How do they get involved?
So I run the cleanse 2 or 3 times a year, springtime, and I have a cleanse coming up in December, from December 4th to the 17th. So I think the best time to cleanse is actually between the holidays. So after the big Thanksgiving dinner and before all the
Sure.
holiday festivities starts, all that chocolate, and so I have a cleanse coming up from December 4th to the 17th, and there is a link. If
Yeah.
there's
I
a link,
just put the
yes,
link in
there's a
the
link.
chat.
You
Yeah.
can take a look,
Yeah.
and that's a guided cleanse. And the what's different from other cleanses is that it's also not just a physical cleanse. Of course, one of the goal is to
Right.
release biostagnation and release
Right.
gallstone, but the other aspect of the cleanse, it's also emotional cleanse. So
Emotional.
that's what we
Yeah.
do, is like letting go. Like we're not just letting go of the gallstones, but letting go of the emotions, the negative talk, what doesn't serve us well. So our cleanse, it's geared, we structure. So I have another coach, Maura Kennedy. We've been doing the liver cleanse together for 4 years now, and we specifically structure the cleanse so that each cleanser have time. We encourage time for self-care, emotionally and
Mhm.
physically. So that's the self-development part of the cleanse, personal
Yeah.
development part of the cleanse. uh,
Yeah. And that's important.
yeah, yeah.
It's very important. I've done it. How many times have I
You've
done it? Five or
done it.
six times.
Yeah, you've done it plenty of times. Yeah.
And it's funny because every time I do it on that beginning day and I'm starting to do these cleansing processes, I end up like wanting to cleanse my environment.
Yes.
It's almost like I want to clean out a drawer. I find myself, what are you doing? You're cleaning out drawers. Why are you doing this? But it's like this almost, like they call nesting when you're pregnant, right? But it's like this cleansing attitude, right? Throughout the
Yes.
whole body. Let me cleanse it. And you may find yourself not very tolerant of people who are not very nice to you.
Hmm.
You may find that it stirs up anger
Hmm.
because that's one of the emotions
Yeah.
that get stored and blocked. And then when you're releasing, you may be releasing some of that anger.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's
So
quite
so I
interesting.
tell my cleansers, like, don't tell your family what you're doing, and because you might be grouchy here and there, you might be snappy, things might come up for you. And for me, I sleep in another room, and I don't sleep with my husband. So I get that time to kind of for myself, and I can
Yourself.
meditate. I could kind of go within and just kind of be for myself and calm. And so I take that time. It's really a time for self care.
Nice.
Yeah.
So for folks who are busy
Mhm.
who have a lot going on, jobs and family and all that. How much time do they need? Because that's what people usually
Yeah.
say. I don't know if I have the
Yeah,
time.
so you can work, of course, and then we have a suggested of food that what to avoid, and of course, like rainbow color as natural as possible. So some people there are good places where they can buy organic and good quality food, and that's okay. You don't have to make all your food. You can get it from a good source, and we have recommendation for that. And we have calls almost every other day. Um, Throughout 2 weeks. The calls are recorded, so it's at your own time. If you can't attend the nightly coaching call, you can always listen to the recording. So the
Hmm.
first week you can pretty much is mostly it's the um, diet change
Right.
where you're eating healthier for the first week. The second week it's a little bit different. Oh, it's only till the end of the week that um, the diet change is a little bit different, and only the last 2 days. And we recommend that you take it easy. You don't schedule
Hmm.
anything um, on your plate.
Right.
The night of the flush and the morning of the flush. But that being said, the whole week throughout the 2 weeks, commitment is not to kind of not the commitment to the cleanse, actually the commitment to yourself, like how much time do you
Yeah.
want to spend to take care of yourself. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and people don't take enough time
Mhm.
to take care of themselves. So it is a good opportunity to do that. So we've been talking to Isabel Yang, and she leads the Second Heart Cleanse. She has one coming up December 4th to 17th. I'm going to be doing it. So I'm excited to get to do it again. And yeah, join us and
Yeah,
just like give yourself a gift around the holidays
yeah,
of like she said, the going from Thanksgiving into Christmas. It's that funny time when we've overdone it at Thanksgiving and we're like, oh my God, I'm going to overdo it again at Christmas. So it's a nice time to take that break,
it
right?
is,
And
and
get
it's
yourself
like
ready.
awareness. People are aware, they're more aware of what they put in their body, and they're more
Yeah.
of how to take care of themselves. Just, that's huge, going through that 2 or 3 weeks of all the festivity, all the going to people's house, having the holiday party. So
Right.
imagine you cut down half of the sweets that you usually eat, and even just that's
Kind of
huge.
nice.
Yeah.
That's that could help the waistline.
Yeah.
Um, So if you're interested, put in the comment wherever you're listening. We're broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. Put in the comment. I put the comment in there, but sometimes people miss the link. Put in the comment that you're interested, and we'll make sure that you get a link and that we post it. And yeah, it's a great treat for your body to just take that break and cleanse out, get the bile moving again, and feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for
Yes,
being
thank
here.
you.
And for those of you, subscribe to the channel or friend us on Facebook, and be aware that we do a lot of really good talks, and we're here to support you in becoming the healthiest you
Yeah,
that you
and
possibly.
Dr. Rita Marie does talks that you don't really hear from your conventional doctors or other
Yeah, for sure.
practitioners. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank
Okay,
you,
thank
everybody. We'll talk to you
you.
soon. I hope to see you on the cleanse. Bye.
Bye.